Hey everybody, welcome back to Z Frequency. I'm Andy Z. Thanks for tuning in again. So I hope everybody's staying up and staying positive. I had, not a lot to say yesterday, but today the floodgates have opened. There's a lot of stuff that I've encountered that sent me pings and that I want to share, and we'll go from there. So the first thing is this is a whistleblower named Max Lowen, and she her backstory is she was basically raised in an SRA situation through her uncle at the Vatican, was where most of her training and abuse happened. So she was able to escape. All of her information is at the end of this video, so you can look into more of this. But I find her to be a really good resource for what they're doing because she was raised in it. So I'll just play this and shut my mouth.
As we watch the events, the wars and all the other events unfolding on the global stage, remember just that it is all a stage and this is all theater, okay? What's happening is not the result of some president wanting to avert nuclear war because this country might have weapons. This is all for us. This is the theater. The truth is these plans are decades and hundreds of years old, and it's all about a reset. Resetting humanity into an AI-run, transhuman, dystopian future, and the centralization of power, which has been happening over decades, drip, 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 slowly, to the point that a few will control the entire global population. So this war, just like the COVID pandemic, just like 9/11, just like all the other psyops and false flags, are staged and executed in order to slowly move us willingly into the arms of their next reset. Again, the New World Order, global government, transhuman, AI, dystopian future that they want us in next. So keep in mind that the players on the global stage, the presidents and the other people, are all actors acting out a script, okay? And most countries have decades of oil reserves, so there's no need to raise oil prices. But this is also deliberate to cause panic and fear in us, to cause scarcity, to take away more farms, to control more and more of our resources, so that we will willingly accept the "you will own nothing and be happy" dystopia that they want for us. Okay, it's important to understand this is a long-term plan. The actors change, but this has been building for a long time deliberately throughout our history, which itself is mostly fake. If you want to learn a little more about that, I'm doing a seminar on March 28th about the origins of humanity and who the hidden hand is behind all of this. So you can go to my website for that, unbroken.global, in case you want to join us. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so that was Max. I really like her information because I feel like she's very clear cut. She knows exactly what she's talking about, and this is exactly correct. We are seeing this all play out. There are no opposite factions in this whole thing. They're doing all of this to scare us and to control us and manipulate us. So World War III is looming. Prices are going to go up. This happens all the time. This happens all the time. They just want us penniless and upset and disempowered because we're getting too much power. That's the problem. So the next thing that I saw that is related, I'm just going to play this, and then this is kind of a two-prong thing. I've got a screenshot after this to kind of go over, but let's play this first.
I would do is basically sit down everyone, okay, including Russia, China, Iran, and say it's time for a new world order where we are partners in this relationship. Right before America was the hegemon, before the U.S. dollar was the world reserve currency, but now what we want to do is open a dialogue where everyone is respected, where America is no longer the bully, but a willing partner in creating a new economic order that benefits everyone and not just a few.
I think that's the wisest possible advice and probably the only path that preserves civilization. But the one country standing in the way of that is Israel.
Okay, so I've got a lot of problems with this. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, well, and I'll pull that up, but let me just add this. Okay, so we've noticed here, America falls, the world falls, Patriots on guard, Q. Let me tell you, Q is a psyop, and I'm really sorry, everybody, but you spend, all these people that spend so much time picking out little words and thinking that this is a predictor of the future, your time is being wasted. You could be using that time to envision a better future. If you were on a secret, and this is very much a temporal war, okay, so I don't want to say that this is so out of the realm of possibility. What is out of the realm of possibility is somebody coming back in time and leaving little Easter eggs for people to put together and so that they feel secure. What is the point of that? It doesn't do anything. What is smart about it is if you do these things and tell people that they should spend hours analyzing every single word from something that you put on some stupid server, it's such a waste of time and it's such a waste of energy. I'll say it again. It's not that we don't have support out there, but we do not have people up front that are doing any of this stuff. So we have to understand, put all of these sources out of your head. Trust the plan. Do not trust the plan. Trust yourself. You trust yourself. Anything that's pulling you outside of yourself and waiting for somebody to save you or to trust the plan, that is disinformation. You are the plan. You are your own plan. You are your own savior. Do not let anybody pull you out of that. Okay. Furthermore, you know what? Let me take this off. Sorry. And there we go. Okay. The other thing, we heard them say it here, the New World Order, just like Max was talking about. They're trying to start implementing this now because we are at a high. Emotions are high right now because people are worried about World War III. So now they're going to say, we need a new world order so that everybody talks respectfully to each other. This is exactly what they do. They overwhelm us and they offer us a peaceful solution that furthers their plans, just like Max Lowen said. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm going to pull this up on my phone so that I don't have to shove my big ass head right in your face to read this. But this was shared by Cab. There's so many issues with this whole thing. And then before we get to Cab, let's talk about Tucker Carlson. So we see him as, well, some people see him as a truth teller. He's speaking out. He's a whistleblower. He was fired by Fox News. So he's anti-mainstream media. He's being controlled. He's controlled opposition. So a lot of these people are going to say, this is wrong with Israel because they work for Iran. And that's just what it is. So they're going to give you some truth. They're not going to address certain things or point those things out because that goes against the people that are paying them and funding them. So anybody you see that has a big platform, I keep saying this, and I'm sorry, I'll keep rattling on it and harping it in, because anybody that's got a big platform is being controlled by someone. So now let's go to Cab. Sorry guys, I'm on one today. So Cab said the United States is the last offense against the satanic New World Order, which Tucker Carlson now promotes. Let's be very clear here. The satanic New World Order is in every single country. There is not one country that's a hero. There is not one country that's a villain. It is permeated into the culture of everyone. So when we see people pointing fingers at different countries, that's how you know that they are controlled opposition. So, and I think I've demonstrated over the past couple of days that he's got an agenda. The unseen dark forces have many disguises. Past disguises aren't current disguises. This is where I will say he's got a good point, because people will turn all the time. The game is constantly changing. You have to trust yourself more than anybody, and you have to learn to live in your discernment. And when things give you that ping, like this is what my whole thing is. My whole podcast is me getting pings on things and saying, this isn't right, or this is good, or you know what I mean? Learn to live in that, because this is going to be the only thing that serves us through these times. It's such a deceptive, confusing time. You have to be able to rely on yourself. Okay, they use Israel as a distraction to keep people from seeing China's infiltration. So right now we're pointing out Israel and China, these people are enemies. They're not enemies. They're different countries. There are players that are against us in these countries, just like there are, especially in the United States. I mean, if there's evil anywhere, it's here in the United States. So we have to, the fact that we're the last defense, he's out of his mind. He is absolutely out of his effing mind. Epidemics, terrorism, immigration crisis, mass cloning, and more are engineered by forces aligned with China. No, by forces aligned with every country, the entire satanic network. Infiltration instead of invasion. He's telling you right there. Oh my gosh, you guys. There were so many problems with all of that. I just had to address all of it. Now, another one. So let's talk about 5G, and now they're trying to roll out 6G. So, well, you know what? Let me play this. I'll play this before I start going on.
You know, I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done, and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna, but I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh?
Okay. So, and I am not scientifically minded, but I know I've heard this before, and this really stuck out as true to me. The 5G frequency, what I believe happens with that, it's a wave like this. When they focus another ray or another frequency with that, they can pretty much surveil anywhere. So the way I understand it is it does something to the molecules, that wave, to make them a little more malleable. And then at that point, they can do like an X-ray or some kind of other ray to see through the walls. So it's basically like they can surveil all of us at all times, and they are. So with Trump's, as you heard him say, what do they need to see a deeper layer of our skin? He said it, and he's such a 5D chess player. He's such a master, but he has absolutely no filter. That's what it is. So it's surveillance. And 6G, who knows? I mean, my assumption is this is poisoning us, and they just want to be. Maybe the next step is they can just eliminate things. I don't know. I don't know what 6G means, but I know 5G is a complete surveillance state. So, and we just heard him say that. So, next thing, and this will be the last thing, I promise, guys. I'm really on one today. Okay, so this is a podcast that I'm really not crazy about. But just like with everything, you take the truth out of things and leave the rest. So I find this podcast to be a little too Christian leaning. It's and I'm not trying to offend Christians, but if you're so far into any one point of view, you're not going to get the full picture. So, and that goes for every religion or every ideology in general. If you're so far into this, you're not going to see the full picture. But this guy that's coming on here has a really good point, and this is all very true. So let me play this.
Is advanced tech. Even like what Barber, who's pure, he's sincere in what he's describing. He experienced this matriarchal feminine aspect and this love that he never knew, blah, blah, blah. 100%. He's not lying about what he experienced. It's just what he experienced is a lie. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's all tech. The capabilities through neurogenics and harmonic resonance and these different aspects of vibrational frequency and waveforms is beyond what anybody can actually comprehend. So, people, a lot of language out there about Project Bluebeam. Mm-hmm. It's like, yes, no, like, yes, that's a good working construct of what their capabilities are. There's also a lot of evidence out there to disprove Project Bluebeam. So it's like, I don't really know where I stand on that, but I do know where I stand on what they're capable of technologically. And they are capable of doing wide-scale neurological hijacking through waveform processes that affect your neurology at different levels. There's even a thing called sonoluminescence. People can look this up. They call it like lightning in a jar, where we have the ability to create plasma balls in low Earth orbit towards the ionosphere and get them to, because plasma is the fourth state of matter, right? And then look like fireballs are raining down from the sky. Wait a minute. That's right. The false prophet performs signs and wonders, even calling down fire from the skies to deceive many. Wow. Sonoluminescence, right? And like even this idea of euphoria, like they can excite hyper rage or they can excite hyper love. They can excite like an overbearing masculine, sense on somebody, or they can do a feminine, gentle, quieted sense through neurological processes and neurogenic manipulation. And they can do it on mass scales. This has all been proved out. So then when you combine this, we say an intimate personal experience through technological manipulations, then you have advanced aviation or whatever, aerospace tech through technological operations. And then you combine the two, and then you have a longitudinal 100-year influence campaign through mass media, mass propaganda, and whatever, and the church. You can see how, in a flash overnight, the Great Deception could literally take you captive because it will all make sense. And you will have a personal, intimate, physiological, emotional experience with it that's so intimate, nobody can take that testimony from.
Okay. So I think that sums up Chris Bledsoe. This and I'm not well versed in Bible stuff. So when he said the great deceiver or whatever it was will call forth fire upon the sky, I was like, bingo, this is exactly what it is. So just another somebody else saying what I've already said, that we are needing to be more and more careful every day about what we believe, about what we're being told, and where they're steering us, because they are, I may call them stupid, but they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. They know us way better than we'll ever know ourselves. And what would be a service to humanity is if they taught us what they know so that we can master ourselves faster. We don't need them to do that, but it would be helpful for the mass public if they understood, if they would teach their understanding of how our minds work like they understand it. If they were here for humanity, they would. So that's all I've got for today. Isn't it enough? I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please feel free to reach out. My email's right there, so feel free. You can email. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Stay strong out there. We're sovereign beings that can go F themselves.